Ana Kasparian shockingly defends Joe Rogan for his comments in this clip as Ana Kasparian reacts to Joe Rogan's recent comments he made to Chris Williamson on the Joe Rogan podcast about Americans' healthcare. So let's watch this clip with Ana Kasparian defending Joe Rogan.
Where are you at with healthcare?
I think healthcare 100% should be socially funded. I think that Medicare and Medicaid, having programs where people who are hurt can get an operation and it's not going to bankrupt them for the rest of their life, is another thing that I think society should be. It should be a part of our agreement to take care of each other as a community, that we chip in money for what people would think of as socialist positions.
That is a smoking position, almost as smoking as that joint that they have on set. That was Joe Rogan, of course, and he's been going to bat for socialized healthcare. And guess what? He's done it more than once in the past month alone. Are you shocked by that, Jake?
No, not at all. He endorsed Bernie Sanders. Look, I got super frustrated with Rogan when he was on like the tear against LGBT community, in my opinion. You know, he started talking about the groomers and
yeah, you wanted to fight him over it.
Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand that, right? And then I didn't like the gaslighting of he's not majority on the right. No, of course he's majority on the right. These days he voted for Trump, right? But I also don't like the gaslighting of no, he's a Trump cultist. I mean, look at that. Look at him objecting on sending the innocent guy to El Salvador, and you can go on and on. And if he was a Trump cultist all along, why did he endorse Bernie in 2016? So it just doesn't make any sense. I don't like either side gaslighting, right? So what is Rogan? He's independent. These days he has more right-wing opinions than left-wing opinions. But does he have some strong left-wing opinions? Yes. Does he actually care about right or left wing? No, not really, not too much.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So he doesn't view the world in that way, and I know a lot of us do, and then so some of us get really mad over, oh no, you're on the wrong wing, etc. And it's okay, you could fight him on the things that you disagree with. I challenged him to a physical fight over the things that I disagree with him. So I'm pretty clear on that issue. But here, I will take yes for an answer.
Yeah, look, if you're a political junkie, you're likely obsessed with an individual's label, right? Is this person left or right? Go talk to a normie about politics, and they're all over the place on what their preferences are on political issues. And so Joe Rogan is not a political figure, he's not a political analyst. His podcast is not simply about politics. He's just a regular guy who's curious about things and has all sorts of guests on and talks about all sorts of things, right? He's not thinking about it as deeply as you think he's thinking about it, like in a political label sense.
First of all, that's true, like in terms of he doesn't really care too much about labels, etc. But also, he's not sitting there strategizing. Like, so people think like, oh, he's gonna go and say this so that he could actually win on the anti-trans agenda or whatever.
I got news for you, most people.
He's mainly getting high and then talking to a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And does he talk to too many right-wingers, which then influences him more in a right-wing direction? I think so, right?
Yeah,
but that's okay. The answer to that is talk to more left-wingers or independents or whoever the hell you like, right? But to like cancel, who are you canceling anyway? The guy's got the largest podcast. Remember, they were all gonna cancel Rogan, right?
How is he supposed to talk to left-wingers when if a left-winger goes on that show, they get totally destroyed for doing so? I mean, Bernie Sanders running for president in 2020 was absolutely skewered by the left for having the audacity to talk to the man who hosts the most popular podcast in the country at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that was at the height of the cancel culture. And yes, there was both establishment Democrats and other folks on the left who are like, no, Rogan has some unacceptable opinions, so Bernie talking to him is unacceptable, he should be canceled. Take yes for an answer, brother, which Bernie, as we're about to show you, does. But get to the point of Rogan's actual policy. Yes, of course. I mean, he uses an analogy that I use in my book about the fire department.
Okay, so let's get to that.
Yeah.
Let's watch.
I always bring up the fire department because the fire department is one of the best examples that everybody sort of agrees. It's a socialist sort of thing. You give your tax dollars, the tax dollar supports the fire department fairly puts out fires for everybody. They don't not put out your fire if you don't have any money. It's not like they don't, the fires don't.
It's such a good example, but when you compare that to the way that medical access is done, at least in this country.
Now, I'm not surprised that Ana Kasparian is defending Joe Rogan for socialized healthcare. I mean, I can agree with the fire department principle. I think it's a good thing. All I would say though, so I do, support Medicare and Medicaid, but when you look at other countries, you look at the UK, you look at Canada, you look at places like Cuba, you look at other countries who have socialized healthcare. So many of the people from those countries come to the United States to get healthcare because they're trying to get the best. And when you look at these countries and you look at the wait times, I recently saw a video, this woman's waiting a year to get her brain tumor looked at. It's like, no, I need help now. Like when you actually look at how the healthcare plays out in these very socialized systems, it's not what you think. They sell it as this end all be all good. But personally, I would not want a fully socialized healthcare system. I was not a fan of Obamacare. I get there's problems in the insurance way that it's done, but it's a good principle, but I just don't see it working out practically in the real world. I mean, that's my opinion, but folks, I want to know what you think. Do you agree with socialized healthcare? Are you against it? I really want to hear from your opinion. So put that down in the comments and leave a like if you're enjoying the video. It helps the algorithm. I appreciate it. So let's get back in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think most people realize we're a mixed economy, right? Like, we're not socialist, we're not fully capitalist. We have certain programs in this country, whether it's on a state and local level or a federal level, where it's socialized. Okay, Medicaid is a socialized program. Social Security, socialized. Medicare, socialized. And so we have private industry, obviously. We have private companies. They're able to function and operate the way they do. We have markets, but it makes sense to have certain areas of our society socialized so there isn't as much of a profit motive, right? So the priority is to provide the best service or care. So another good example is private prisons, where you literally have investors, you have shareholders, okay? You have a board, and you are looking to maximize profits. That is a perverse incentive because obviously you're going to want to criminalize as many human actions or human behaviors as possible to maximize your profits. Then you have, publicly run prisons. They're not great, but there isn't a profit motive and you don't have a fiduciary responsibility to return on investment to your shareholders.
Yeah, so let's expand on the fire department as I did in Justice is Coming. So in the old days, we had private fire departments and they wouldn't put out a fire if you didn't have insurance. The problem is fires spread. Same thing with viruses and with medical conditions, etc. So that's one of the many reasons why you need to socialize health insurance, not the doctors themselves. And Rogan went on a long rant about how he wants the best doctors possible. And he's not wrong about that. You can keep the entire system private except for the insurance, which is what the great majority of countries do. And every developed nation other than us does. They have the insurance public or socialized, and that gets to one of my main complaints. In this case, the number one culprit is not right-wing or left-wing media, it's mainstream media. Because in my whole life, they've never explained what socialism is. And they've never explained what a mixed economy is.
Right.
They just allow corporate politicians on both sides to call anything that helps the American people socialism, right? It's absurd, that's not true at all. And like Ana said, we have a mixed economy. Sneakers and jeans and burgers should be done by private corporations. And things like fire department, police department, things that protect your life and health insurance needs to be done by the public. Otherwise, you'll have a profit motive to literally kill people because those are your costs. Taking care of people are your costs. You wanna minimize your costs, so you wanna deny as much as possible. It's a death machine. It's insane that we allow it. No other developed nation on earth allows it. So what Rogan is saying is total common sense. By the way, Chris Williamson, another guy whose show that we've both been on, right? Yep. Another guy saying, yeah, the left is totally right about this. And of course this should be a universal health care. I love it.
So in areas where you find common ground with individuals who are to the right of you or just like full-blown, right wingers, I would say take the win. Nick, you can definitely work together in areas where you have common ground. Because look, guys, fact of the matter is most people don't agree 100% on everything, right? So if you can build alliances on specific issues to push government to go in the right direction, I say go for it, take the win.
Ana Kasparian definitely did make some good points. One, private prisons are a no-go. That needs to go, doesn't work. Two, if you can come together on issues and actually get things done in society instead of polarizing, the other side that you just can't work with them on anything, yes, you should also definitely do that. as far as healthcare, I'm all for the idea of it. I just have not seen it work out. Like, everyone says it's so good and so great, but it doesn't actually work the way that they claim it to. So maybe people haven't quite figured out how to really make it work. I don't know. I might entertain the idea of socializing insurance. Maybe we need a mixed system. I'm not exactly sure what the end all fix is to make this the best way. Insurance is crazy, but socialized systems can be absolutely terrible when you put bureaucrats in charge. I don't really know exactly the formula of how it really should be, but it is an intriguing idea. But folks, let me know in the comments, do you agree with socialized healthcare? Are you for it? Are you against it? Or maybe it just depends on how it's implemented. But let me know, folks. And let me know also what you thought about what Ana Kasparian had to say defending Joe Rogan in this clip. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.